Hello everyone. So my name is Kuldeep and I welcome you all to today's session of 20 GK question, which we curate from the Hindu newspaper the Indian Express and sometimes some Times of India also. So as we have suggested for the ClatPrep students, I suggest you all also to try to read one newspaper daily, which can be either Hindu or Indian Express. And if you are not comfortable with both of them, you can even move to Times of India or some other newspaper also. So let's start with today's session and let's look at the first question. So first question is regarding the Raisina security dialogue, which is currently being held in India. So the first question is a very simple question. So it has asked, so Raisina security dialogue is organized by which of the following? So I given you four options: Ministry of External Affairs, Observer Research Foundation, Third World Economic Forum, or fourth, both A and B. So if you have been following the news, the answer would be D. So Raisina security dialogue is a dialogue, the dialogue which is conducted by both A as well as B, which means answer would be D, both A and B. So Raisina is actually the place where the president lives. So on the basis of that place, it is known as Raisina Security Dialogue, and it is conducted by Ministry of External Affairs and Observer Research Foundation. So as the name suggests, it's a security dialogue, and it mainly focuses on geopolitics and geoeconomy, issues of geopolitics and geoeconomy. So what does geopolitics mean? That politics, yeah, global politics, which is determined by geography. Similarly, economy, which is determined by the geography. So, for example, geopolitics would be, for example, geopolitics of Indian subcontinent primarily revolves around India and Pakistan. So, what is the relationship between India and Pakistan would determine the geopolitics of this region. And same is the case with geoeconomy. What's the relationship between India and Pakistan would determine how the economic relations between different players of this region would take place. Another thing, so Raisina Security Dialogue is based on another very famous dialogue, which is known as the Shangri-La Dialogue. So Shangri-La is a resort, a famous resort in Singapore, and it's similar. Its objective is similar. Shangri-La Dialogue is also a security dialogue. And remember, this Shangri-La also, as well as Raisina, these all are annual dialogues. So they take place annually every year. And majorly head of states or representatives of government or even private players or private bodies, organizations like NGOs can also participate and contribute to such kind of meetings. Apart from these two, another one very famous security dialogue is the Munich Security Conference. This one is also very famous, Munich, which is in Germany. So Munich Security Conference. These three are some of the more important security dialogues happening all around the world. Let's move to the next question now. So next question, again, it was in news today. So what is the name of the artificial intelligence chatbot developed by Google that made headlines for purportedly violating Indian information technology laws due to its pre-generated response defaming Prime Minister Modi? So I give only four options. So this was in news. So basically, for example, if you will go to ChatGPT and there you ask a simple question, then it will generate an answer from it data. Okay, will generate an answer from it. GPT in ChatGPT stand for generative pre-trained transformer. Transformers are neural networks. So basically, जो data you feed into it, it takes it as an input and give you an output. It generates itself. So you have to develop neural rings. So if it is able to connect it, then as using the pre-trained database, it can generate an answer to you. So what has happened was that if in this particular AI chatbot, if you would have asked PM Modi whether PM Modi is a fascist. So the answer with this chatbot replied was that as per analysts by certain experts, some of the policies of the government looks a similar kind of action. So the R. Chandrasekhar, who is presently a minister in the Prime Minister Modi ministry, has stated that it is violative of IT rules as well as violative of criminal codes because you are certainly showing, yeah, you are certainly defaming a person. And that's why such kind of reply should not be provided by these kinds of chatbots. So I've given you four options. So what would be the correct one? So the four options are BART, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Neuralink. So answer for us is C, Gemini. BART is also a chatbot developed by Google only. And actually, Gemini is the newer version of BART only. It was the predecessor. You can use BART also, but more popular, yeah, more advanced is the Gemini, which is also ChatGPT, which is also a GPT owned by Google. ChatGPT, the very famous one, it is owned by OpenAI. And the fourth option is Neuralink, which is actually a company owned by Elon Musk. Elon Musk of SpaceX also owns this company, Neuralink. And what they are trying to achieve is they want to insert chips, a semiconductor chip, into human brains. So somehow they want to create an artificial human. They want to incorporate artificial intelligence into a human mind by inserting chips into a person. And they have actually started doing human trials, and there has been some success also, that a person who was inserted with a semiconductor chip was able to control the mouse with the help of that chip. Mouse, not the real mouse, but the mouse of the computer, by only his senses only. So for us, the answer to second one is Gemini. Let's come to the next one. So again, as per CDS Anil Chauhan, so one information also, that the present Chief of Defense Staff, who is the kind of a head of the all the three armies, is Anil Chauhan. And as per CDS Anil Chauhan, China is deploying this particular military tactic along its border. Which of the following term describes a military strategy operating between peace and traditional warfare? So, your CDS currently, Anil Chauhan, he was speaking at a conference, at a seminar, and there he stated that China is using this military tactic wherein it is not actually going to war, but it is not also maintaining full peace, so that the other country is on its toes. So there can be any objective of China also which it wants to fulfill, but neither the stage is of full peace, neither it is a stage of going to a war. So the question is, which of the following describe this kind of military strategy? So four options are asymmetric warfare, red zone conflict, blitzkrieg tactics, and gray zone warfare. So actually, the answer is D, gray zone warfare. So gray zone warfare actually means a military strategy operating between peace and traditional warfare only. That you want to, you do not want to stick to one position. You want to move into in peace and traditional warfare. So this is the answer for us. The other three are asymmetric warfare is basically, you can also call it guerrilla warfare. You are not going face to face. You are using different kinds of technique. Red zone conflict is a made up word, but you can actually, red zone conflict would be a hot war situation where actually the two countries are fighting. Blitzkrieg tactics. So Blitzkrieg tactics became famous in World War II, and it was basically a tactic used by Germans where they would send a lot of jet aircrafts to an enemy line, and they will try to destroy the whole of the city in one go by bombing the city once and for all. So these are different tactics, but for us, where we are trying to maintain something between peace and traditional warfare, this warfare tactic is known as gray zone warfare. Next question. So next question is, again, all of the questions are from today's newspaper only, or which are very relevant for your CLAT exam and other exams also. So Sharad Pawar's political outfit, Nationalist Congress Party, Sharad Chandra Pawar, was allotted the symbol of man blowing tura, a traditional trumpet. Which entity is responsible for assigning symbols to political parties in India? So if you know NCP, which is a party in Maharashtra, very popular party in Maharashtra, there was a division between the party, and Ajit Pawar, who is nephew of Sharad Pawar, took away some of the major of the MLAs from its party and took over the original NCP, which was actually created by Sharad Pawar. So since the original NCP was taken away by Ajit Pawar, so they have created a separate party, which is NCP, National Congress Party, Sharad Chandra Pawar, and head is Sharad Pawar. And finally, he has been allotted a symbol also, so that they can fight in an election. So the question is, which entity is responsible for assigning symbols to political parties in India? The four options are Election Commission of India, State Election Commission, Lok Sabha Speaker, President of India. So the answer here is A, Election Commission of India. So if you have gone through your constitution, you will see there is Article 324, which creates the office of Election Commission, and all the power, superintendence, etc. regarding election in India has been given to Election Commission of India. So, giving a name to a political party, for example, this name should Sharad Pawar be given this name or not is to be decided by Election Commission of India only. And similarly, whether this symbol which they might have asked them should be given to them is to be decided by Election Commission of India. So there is this in the second option. I given the option of State Election Commission. So remember, State Election Commission is not responsible for election at the center as well as the state. They are responsible for third-tier election, that is panchayats and municipal. So if it comes to whether a person or a party should be given a particular symbol or a name at the panchayat and municipalities level, then it would be State Election Commission. Otherwise, it is the Election Commission of India which allots symbols and as well as names to political parties, and any other election-related matter is dealt by Election Commission of India only. Next question. So, again, from today's newspaper, which regional cooperation format represented by a group of countries attending the Raisina dialogue requested India's support for Ukraine war's efforts against Russia? So, Russia-Ukraine war recently just completed their 2-year anniversary. So, the war has been going on for 2 years now. So, a group of countries from Eurasia came to India and they asked for India's support for Ukraine. They said that India should become less dependent on Russia, or they should pressurize Russia so that it stops its war efforts against Ukraine. So the four options are G7, NB8, BRICS, and ASEAN. So if you are smart enough, you might have seen that these are very known organization, but this is somewhat less known. So going by that also, you could have guessed that maybe B is the answer. So actually the answer is B only, which is NB8, which stands for Nordic Baltic 8. So it's a group of 8 countries which belong to Eurasia only. So it is not like that it has been particularly created for the Russia-Ukraine war. It was an already constructed grouping of these 8 countries, and they want to maintain economic relations with all over the world. Okay, so the countries which became part of this Nordic Baltic 8 are actually Denmark, Estonia, Finland, Iceland, Latvia, Lithuania, Norway, and Sweden. So these 8 countries, this group of 8 countries is actually right now in India, and they were participating in the Raisina dialogue, which was the first question also. So if you will read today's Hindu newspaper, there is an editorial being published by the NB8 only in the Hindu newspaper. You can read that to get an idea what are they asking India to do. So for us, the answer is B, NB8. Let's come to the next question. So Collective Security Treaty Organization, or CSTO, is a military alliance in Eurasia led by Russia. Which of the following country has frozen its membership from CSTO? So just like NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is a military alliance headed by US, and most of the Western European countries are part of it. Earlier, to counter NATO, USSR or the Soviet Union had created Warsaw Pact. So it was a very similar organization, alliance like the NATO Warsaw Pact. But after the Soviet Union disintegrated, it did not make any sense because most of the countries had become independent, or they started having independent foreign policy. However, in 2002, So it was going on since 1992, but in 2002, CSTO. So in 1992, they signed a collective security treaty. 6 countries actually signed it. And in 2002, they formed a former alliance of CSTO, Central Collective Security Treaty Organization, of 6 members. So recently, actually today only, one of the country has actually decided that it's going to froze its membership from CSTU. That is, it is no longer going to be an active member of CSTU. And actually, its parliament is right now consulting whether they should withdraw its membership from CSTO. I've given you 4 options: Armenia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. So answer here for us is actually Armenia. So Armenia actually was in a war with Azerbaijan. So it was in news so much last year, and it was regarding a particular region in Armenia, in Armenia only, which is the Nagorno Karabakh region. Nagorno Karabakh region, which is a region in Armenia, and now it has been taken over by Azerbaijan. So this conflict took place in 2023. And because Armenia was part of the CSTO, it expected Russia to help it. Because just like the NATO, CSTO work on the principle that if any of a member is attacked by any other party, by an enemy, it is considered an attack on all the members of that organization. So if Armenia has been attacked, and since Armenia is part of CSTO, Armenia expected that Russia and other CSTO member would come forward to help it against the war against Azerbaijan. But Russia did not came forward, and because of it, now Armenia has finally decided that it is going to, as of now, it has frozen its membership, and finally, most probably, it will also withdraw its member from CSU because it is not helping it. So answer for 6 is Armenia. Now let's come to the next question. So Mobile World Conference MWC is the world's biggest mobile phone event and is held annually in which of the following places? So it is the biggest event of mobile, and most of your mobile companies, your Samsungs, your Apples, etc., usually showcase their flagship product or the most advanced product in this Mobile World Conference. So I've given you 4 options. Where is it held annually? Barcelona, New York, Tokyo, and Dubai. And the answer is Barcelona. And you should follow it if you are interested in technology. So which is the latest technology which is being put forward by various companies. You can actually find out in Barcelona, Spain. Next question, very relevant question. RBI has mandated the closure of Paytm Payments Bank on February 29, 2024. Which of the following is a parent company of Paytm? So Paytm, you might know that its payment bank has been asked to close down because it was violating RBI norms regarding KYC, know your customers norm. So it was forcing customers to open up their bank accounts without asking for their proper consent, which goes against the RBI guidelines. And RBI has actually asked Paytm time and again that it should change its procedures to do KYC. Also, there was also an issue of Chinese ownership in the parent company, which is also not allowed for Indian banks. So because of these 2 reasons, the Paytm Payment Bank was finally asked to close its shop February 29, 24. So if any of you is having any money in your Paytm Payments Bank, you should take it out of it and put it in another bank or in your own bank. So the question here is, which of the following is the parent company of Paytm? So I given you 4 options: Walmart Incorporation, 197 Communication, Bundle Tech, or AINA Tech. So answer here is B. 197 Communication is the parent company of Paytm. Walmart Inc. is a US company which is right now which is now the owner of Flipkart. Bundle Technology is actually owner of Swiggy. It is the parent company of Swiggy, and ANI Tech is actually the parent company of. So let's move to the next question now. So next, the recently launched Pradhan Mantri Suryodaya Yojana aims at installing rooftop solar power system. The scheme targets the installation of rooftop solar power system in how many households across the nation? So this year on 26 January, Prime Minister announced this scheme from the Red Fort, Pradhan Mantri Suryodaya Yojana, and actually it was made part of the budget also, and wherein the the central government promised that it's going to install rooftop solar power system across the nation on these numbers of households. I've asked you how many households are to be covered under the scheme. Let's look at the option 1 lakh, 1 million, 1 crore, or 1 billion. So 1 million is equivalent to 10 lakhs, and 1 billion is actually 100 crores. Okay, so the answer for us is that under this Prime Minister Suryoday Yojana, the government has targeted 1 crore household. Answer here is C for us. The government is going to put up rooftop solars on 1 crore households. Let's move to the next question now. So, the Wall of Remembrance of the Fallen for Ukraine is a memorial for Ukraine soldiers located in which of the following places? So, since the Russia-Ukraine war is going on, so there was a prayer meet at this wall which has been created. So, I've asked you where this wall is located. Actually, there is again a picture in today's newspaper where the name of the place is given. So, four options are Kyiv, which is the capital of Ukraine; Donetsk, which is a region in the eastern Ukraine, which is which is abound Russia only. Third is Bakhmut, which is again a city, and fourth is Mariupol, which is a port city of Ukraine. So answer here is Kyiv. These three regions are actually, for example, Donetsk is the region. Oblast बोलते हैं वहाँ पे. Oblast is basically a province or state. Oblast is actually Ukrainian or Russian for a province or a state. So it's a region. And 55% of Donetsk region is actually now in occupation of Russia. Bakhmut and Mariupol, these are very important locations. And Mariupol is with Russia since 2022 now. And it is a very important port city. And Bakhmut is like most of the city is 90%, 80% something is with Russia only. So the Wall of Remembrance of the Fallen for Ukraine is actually a memorial located at Kyiv, which is the capital of Ukraine. Next question, which of these statements about surrogacy law in India is correct? So what is surrogacy? So surrogacy is when two partners actually decide to use a third person to give birth to their child. Okay, so in actuality, let's say if the male and she is a female, and let's say the egg of female is not or the female is not able to bear a bear a healthy child, then they can actually approach a surrogate mother, and they can actually it's a very colloquial term, but they can hire her womb for getting a baby. So this thing is known as surrogacy. So I have asked you certain questions about which of the following statement is correct or not. So first is commercial surrogacy is allowed in India. Second, surrogacy regulations are solely state controlled. Third, surrogacy is permitted regardless of marital status or nationality. Or fourth, only married Indian couples can opt for surrogacy. So actually, so there was some issue because there was one Japanese couple who had came to India around 2013 or 2010. I'm not exactly clear about the year, but it's a old case. So the Japanese couple who were actually not married came to India. They hired a surrogate. But while the pregnancy was going on, they had a fight and they finally decided both of them got separated. Because of which no one came forward to took the custody of that child. So the question was who is going to have the parental rights over that baby? What is the status of that baby? Will it be considered a legitimate child or illegitimate, etc. So although in the end, the male Japanese persons, her mother came up and the grandmother of that child took her to Japan. But actually, it opened the eyes of regulators in India, of lawmakers of India. And they finally decided that they have to do something about surrogacy laws in India. So in 2015 itself, they actually abolished commercial surrogacy. So in 2015, they abolished it. And in 2021, they actually bought regulations Surrogacy Regulation Act in of 2020. And if I give you in a one single sentence, what is the situation for surrogacy in India now? So only heterosexual. So no homosexual, gay, lesbian, LGBT community, not the transgender can have it. But as of now, only heterosexual couples, and I should be clear, Indian couples, which means foreign nationals cannot use surrogacy to get a baby in India. Indian couples married for 5 years, at least 5 years, married for at least 5 years, and they are infertile. So infertility, it does not mean that both of them needs to be infertile. If any one of them is infertile, then they can go for surrogacy. But most importantly, it has to be altruistic. So what does altruistic means? That there should not be any payment to be done to the surrogate mother. If the surrogate mother out of goodwill wants to do it, altruistically wants to do it, then only such a surrogacy can be. Also, there should be no money exchange. So, which means for us, the answer here is B. Only married Indian couples can opt for surrogacy, which is a correct statement. These three statements are actually. Now let's move to the next question, which is which of the following organization recently celebrated its golden jubilee? So I've asked for 50 years, which of the organizations completed 50 years. So silver jubilee is actually completion of 25 years. Golden jubilee is 50 years. Diamond jubilee. So there is always a confusion regarding when can we celebrate diamond jubilee. So there would be two answers, 60 years and 75 years. 60 years is basically when a person is celebrating his birthday or anniversary, a couple is celebrating this, and 75 years is usually for institution. And usually the reason is because of the lifespan of human beings. Usually earlier when these jubilee system came to be adopted, people started calling them jubilees. It was decided that Diamond Jubilee should be 6 years because people usually did not live up to 75 years or 80 years. So because of which, per person, 60 years became a Jubilee celebration, Diamond Jubilee celebration, and it is 75 years for an institution. But for Platinum Jubilee, it is 70 years. So if a person or an institution wants to celebrate its Platinum Jubilee, it is 70. Let's go through the options. So first is DRDO. So DRDO actually celebrated its 66th Foundation Day this year. Supreme Court has actually celebrated 75th year, which means it was a Diamond Jubilee celebration. Third is your Amul, which is a cooperative owned by Gujarat Cooperative Federation, and actually it has completed 50 years. And third was both D was both Bo and C. So answer for us is after this explanation C. Amul. Amul has completed 50 years of its existence. Let's come to the next question, which is PM Mitra scheme. PM Mitra scheme is a unique initiative to develop integrated value chain in which of the following sector. I integrated value chain or IVC is basically means that starting from the first step itself. So from collection of raw material to final product, making of final product, and finally to take it to market. Whatever is the process should be integrated. So usually what the government do is it creates special economic zones or these kinds of parks, industrial parks, or a sector specific park, so that the value chain, whatever value is being added into the product from starting from the collection of raw material to finally making the product and selling it in the market can be done at a one single pace so that there is economies of scale. What is economies of scale? That if you do anything on a large scale, then your cost of production decreases, because of which you are a more profitable firm. So PM Mitra scheme. So if you know the full form of Mitra, then you would be easily able to get the answer of this. So let's look at the options. So options are coal, solar panels, steel, and textile. So answer here is B, textile, because PM Mitra stands for PM Mega Integrated Textile Region and Apparel. PM Mega Integrated Textile Region and Apparel. That's why PM Mitra. Okay, so it is going to be textile. Next question. So the next question is, in which state is the Mahamashtak Abhishek Mahotsav held once every 12 years to consecrate the statue of Lord Bahubali located in Belka. So it's a place in which of the following states where the statue of Lord Bahubali is located, and it is consecrated every 12 years. So that Mahotsav is known as Mahamashtak Abhishek, and it's a very big statue, and a lot of milk and water is being used to consecrate the statue every 12 years. So this Lord Bahubali is also known as Gomateshwar, and he was actually the son of Rishabhnath. Rishabhnath, who is considered as a first Tirthankar. One first Tirthankar is basically Tirthankars are basically the knowledgeable persons in Jainism. So he was the first Tirthankar in Jainism, or son of Rishabhnath, and finally Lord. So the question is, there is one statue which is being consecrated every 12 years, and the options are Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Telangana. And the answer for us, Seven Belgola, is a place in Karnataka. Let's move to the next question. So next question is 12th edition of the Milan 24 is being organized at Visakhapatnam. So it's a multilateral exercise of Indian Navy which is being organized at Visakhapatnam, which is the headquarter of one of the naval commands of Indian Navy. Which of the following is not one of the three naval commands of the Indian Navy? So naval commands are basically the headquarters. So the question is, there are three naval commands. Which of the following option is not one of the naval commands of Indian Navy? So options are Western Naval Command, Eastern Naval Command, Southern Naval Command, and third, or D, Andaman and Nicobar Naval Command. So answer here is D, Andaman and Nicobar Naval Command, because as the name suggests, Western and Eastern Naval Command and Southern Naval Command are actually named on the basis of the shore on which they are located. Andaman and Nicobar Naval Command is not a existing command. There is one tri-service command, actually not a naval command in Andaman and Nicobar, which is an integrated tri-service command, which means that all the three forces, Indian Armed Forces, Naval, as well as Air Force, together they create this integrated theater command. Answer here for 15th is D, Andaman and Nicobar. Let's come to the next question. So which of the following has developed a synthetic human antibody that can neutralize a potent neurotoxin produced by the Elapidae family of highly toxic snakes, which includes the cobra, king cobra, crate, and black mamba? So which of the following has created one human antibody? Because if you know this, that snake bite causes lots of death in India, and actually India has the most number of deaths because of snake bites all over the world. So which of the following has created an antibody to neutralize this neurotoxin? So options are Bharat Biotech, which created Covaxin; AIIMS Delhi, which is the premier public hospital of India. Third is ISC Bangalore, which is a research organization, the most prominent research organization, science-based organization of India. And fourth is Serum Institute of India, which was actually creator of Covishield vaccine. So answer here is IISc Bangalore, which has created one antibody that can neutralize a potent neurotoxin, which is released when a snake bits a human being. Let's move to the next question. So Switzerland is soon hosting a peace conference of world leaders to find a solution for which of the following? Switzerland is going to again host a peace conference so that they can find a solution to this one of the following wars which is happening right now. First is Russia-Ukraine war. Second is your Israel-Palestine war. Third is world peace, and D, both A and B. That it is trying to find a solution for both the wars. So answer here is actually Russia and Ukraine war. So Switzerland is right now, because it's a European country, it is more concerned with Russia-Ukraine war. And since already 2 years have passed for the war, so it becomes very important that some solution is being found for the Russia-Ukraine. So 17th answer would be A. Let's move to the next question. Next is the center has accorded approval for procurement of more than 200 BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles for the Indian Navy. BrahMos missile is a joint project of India and which are the following countries. So many of you might know that BrahMos is a very famous missile. BrahMos is actually, so let's first do the question, then I'll explain what is BrahMos missile. So question is, ki BrahMos is a joint project of India and which of the following countries? Option are Australia, Israel, Russia, and US. And the answer is C, Russia. So BrahMos is made up of two words, Ma and Moscow River. So Moscow is a city on the shores of Moscow rivers and the Brahmaputra. So BrahMos missile is a combination of these two words. So DRDO in India and one Russian company, which is hard to pronounce, but a Russian company has created a joint venture wherein they have created this BrahMos missile. And BrahMos missile is actually a mid-range ramjet, ramjet supersonic cruise missile. Supersonic cruise missile. Cruise missile, and it is can be launched from multiple options. For example, it can be launched from a ship, can be launched from a land, it can be launched from an aircraft or from a submarine. Moreover, another important point being that it is a nuclear capable missile that you can actually attach a nuclear warhead over it. So this is your BrahMos missile. So usually if a question comes up, if a question is being asked regarding a particular missile, usually you have to know these things only. You need to know the specifics of the missile. You do not need to know the very specific like the dimensions of a missile, length, breadth, etc. You just need to know what is its range, what kind of missile it is, whether it's a cruise missile or a ballistic missile. Is it a supersonic or subsonic missile? Can it be launched from a ship only? Is it a surface to air missile, only air to air missile? Etc. And as well as it is whether it's a nuclear capable missile or not. For example, in case of BrahMos, you also need to know whether with which of the following country it is a joint project of India. So in our case, it is Russia. Let's go to the next question. So next question is National Board for Wildlife has approved elevated road corridors used by the animals in which of the following national parks. So four options have been given: Kaziranga National Park, Sariska National Park, Bandipur National Park, and Nagarhom National Park. So NBWL or National Board for Wildlife has recently approved an elevated road corridor so that the vehicles can pass through the national park, and still no disturbance is caused to the animals and flora and other fauna and birds living in that national. So answer here is A again. Kaziranga National Park is the answer for us. So now move to the last question for today. So the new portal developed for registration of newspapers under the Press and Registration of Periodicals Act 2023 is. So the Press and Registration of Periodicals Act 2023 was recently enacted by the government, was passed by the parliament in President gave assent, and now it is enforced. The main purpose of this act is to make sure that all the periodical includes is your newspapers, your magazines, your monthly, weekly, etc., and any other kind of booklet which provides information. All of such periodicals, before they are ready to be sold in the market or being distributed, needs to be registered with the registrar under this. Okay, so a new portal has been developed on which a particular editor can register its periodical and then sell it in the market. So your options are Press Seva, is it Press Seva portal, Navigate Bharat portal, National Register for LCOs, and fourth, Transparent Implementation, Media Planning, and e-billing system. So all the four are actually portals only, and they have been recently created only. Just 2-3 days ago, this news came up that these portals have been created. So answer for us is the new portal for registration on newspaper is Press Seva. It is one-stop solution for all the periodicals requirement. If someone wants to register it or do any other government work regarding periodicals, can be done through this. Next was your Navigate Bharat, which is a video library of all government-based videos. Third is National Register for LCOs. LCO stands for local cable operators. So register is being maintained where all the local cable operators would be registered or would be their name would be put up there only. And fourth is your transparent empanelment, media planning, and e-billing system. So this portal is being used for government advertisement. So let's say a government wants to advertise anything, so it has to hire one of the organization or person who's impaneled in on this portal. Then all the media planning is to be done here only, and whatever billing is being done by that party or by that organization is to be done through this portal. So this portal has been also created. But for us, for registration of newspaper, our answer is Press Seva. So that's it for today class. I hope to see you in the next class with new questions, and I hope you are having a learning environment with us. Thank you and have a nice day.